Hello, this is Tong Da, and this is How to Swim for Dummies 101. This video is for newer swimmers or inexperienced swimmers, and I hope that you guys get a lot out of this. So let's get some basic concepts out of the way. So one basic concept, or the only concept that we'll actually cover in this video, is buoyancy, the ability to float in water. So, well, now that you know it, what does it look like? So let's draw an example. So imagine a ping pong ball. What is its activity when it's in water? It floats. It's on top of the water or like somewhat submerged in the water. Why is that? Why does it do that? The reason for this is because ping pong balls are actually less dense than water. Shocking, I know. Hard to believe. In density, if I can write density. But yeah. This is shocking, right? But that's literally the reason why it floats on water. So, how would this phenomenon relate to a human being? Because human beings are actually more dense than water, in my opinion. So, we'll just write this. Humans are greater than or equal to water in density, which should make them sink. So, how the hell do we swim? Or, actually, we'll not get that far yet, but how the hell do we float? How does that happen? Well, my good friends, we have a solution called, actually using a pen, but, we have a solution called surface area. And it's literally the crux of every swimmer, to be honest. And how surface area helps us swim is how that it actually makes less. Well, actually, it gives less work to the water to help us float. Because when an object goes or like interacts with a larger object and has like a potential to submerge, there will be a repellent. So, take, for example, water. It's a larger object than a human being. And so we'll just draw a circle as a human being for now. There will always be a repellent force that will push things away from any foreign object. And this is kind of like a physics thing, but take it as you will. But there's also like other things that help us become more buoyant, but this is kind of like the main one, surface area. And so when the surface area is more spread out, there is less work for that water to push you up. Or actually, there's less weight and for that water to push up. But if it's like concentrated, for example, where did that go? Oh, it's right here. Okay. If there's more work, say for example, all the weight is concentrated, we'll draw another example. Say we have a more dense. Actually, yeah, just a more dense, just like something like this. And then here's the water. The water in this area can't support that, and so it will actually just sink instead because the potential force of going down, or like, the weight of this object is actually greater than the repelling force of the water. And so that causes you to sink. And so that's why we'll try to maximize our surface area. So the water has less work to push up your weight, and that'll help you float. It's one of the factors that help you float. There's more to it than that, but that's like the basic concept of just like you want to like spread out and maximize your surface area on the water. And so, as shown in the last example of just straight up, you want to be more horizontal to the water, your body position, and You'll be hearing this a lot if you ever watch more videos or if I ever make more videos, but you want to make your body position more spread out on the water. Like this, for example. Yep, right here and here. This is as horizontal as you can get as a human being, and this will just push you up in all areas, and the water can actually support you equally. This is helpful. This is key, because if you are like a pin needle, let's draw the example in a correct color. the example was this, for example, I need to stop saying example, but yeah, if a person was like this, you would just sink, and the water just won't support you because there's not enough repelling force right here to help you float up. And so, because all the weight's concentrated, and you'll just go down because your weight is greater than the repelling force of the water. And so, that's pretty simple. So now you know correct body positioning, or somewhat correct body positioning. But that's where body positioning gets into a complication, because since this is the perfect ones, what do new people do? Because this is what all new swimmers do. There is no exception. All new swimmers look like this. So this is the head, this is the torso, these are the hips, and these are the legs, and these are the arms. This is what new swimmers look like. Their knees are drooping, and their hips are somewhat perfect. Actually, no. That is not what a new swimmer looks like. That's an intermediate swimmer. I take that back. A really new swimmer actually looks like this. Their hips are drooping, and there follows the femurs, and then there's their legs, or not their legs, their knees, that also droop. And, yep, and then there's their arms. This is a new swimmer, and this is what all of you look like. And this is what we all have to suffer with for the next 2 weeks if people are trying to teach you. This is all what new swimmers look like, and it's not your fault. Because you think you're straight because, your entire torso is straight. But in reality, this is literally the reality right here. You aren't straight. You're just a mess. So, how do we fix that? In order to fix this body position to be this, because you'll always convince yourself that you're straight because your entire torso is straight, but the other half isn't. So how do we reach that? A fix for that would be raise your goddamn hips so you stop sinking. Raise your hips. Bam. Important. You stop sinking this way. And then the next thing is to straighten your legs, or straighten your legs afterwards when you're kicking. Straighten legs when kicking. And why are these two concepts important right here? Well, when you raise your hips, for example, like when you're a new swimmer, when you raise your hips, it will stop your femurs from sinking. Because your hips are what lift your femurs, and what lift your knees, or from your whatever this is called, lift this part of your leg, your calf. Yeah, that's what it is. I'm so dumb. I didn't take anatomy, but yeah, it lifts your calves up, which gives you less work, and so all the work will be right around this part and your abs. This will where all the work will be. And so if your calves and hips aren't hurting, then you're doing everything wrong. That's basically the simple explanation. So raise your hips, and it'll literally help straighten everything out. But still, you can still make mistakes even while you do that, because even if you straighten up your hips, for example, like this is straight, sometimes it could still be like this. Actually, yeah. No. Yeah. It can look like this. Yeah. It still looks like this, and there's a perfect reason why. And that's because you're kicking with your knees right here. Like, you kick from your knees and you don't kick from your hip. Because when you kick right here, for example, it'll naturally push your femur down, which will cause this dragging right here. And when you drag, that'll make you sink. And then when you're trying to go forward, you'll just end up colliding with the water right here, which will just make you slower. It's just going to hurt you more. So we'll just back away from that a little bit. But yeah, that's what happens when you kick from your knees. So when you kick from your hips, let's go in white. When you kick from your hips, you won't get that dragging, and so you'll just end up becoming more horizontal with the water and make you more buoyant in the water. And It's not just becoming buoyant that's also important. It's also like how you collide with the water, like I just said earlier. Because when your knees are like this, you'll collide with more water, and when your knees are straighter, you'll collide with less water, and so that'll make you only collide with the water that's pushing in front of you. So all you have to deal with this, and it's kind of like the same concept with repelling, right? Um, if there's more water hitting more surface area of your body, the more like repellent force it has. Because like if you're going forward, for example, let's actually just draw this so I don't look at like a torso. We'll just put arms too because it messes me up as well. So say that you're going here, you're going this way, right? And there will always be water from here to here. And so when there's more surface area to go through, right, you want to be as narrow as possible when you're going forward. And so when you have your legs down submerged in the water, there is more surface area of water that you're pushing towards to, which will just help you sink. So when you have less surface area going forward, there's less work that you need to do. And it's kind of like the same concept. So you need to work with the water beneath you, but you work against the water that you're going ahead in. So yeah, make sure to keep that in mind. That's pretty important. That's why you do that. And that's how we can get effective body positions in swimming. All right. Now I'll just move on to the last part of this lecture, which is basically what are some things that you can do inside and outside of practice. So the first exercise we have is three 1-minute planks and 30 seconds rest in between. So how does this help? Well, I briefly talked about that when raising your hips, your abs hurt. And so since you're going to be swimming around 2 hours a day, I think planks are the best exercise to help you because you're literally going to be stationary the entire time. And yeah, and so planks are pretty helpful. It'll help build your endurance and help build straightening out correct body positions in the water. And so to reiterate what this exercise again, because I don't think I did a good job explaining it, is 3 1-minute planks and 30 seconds in between. So you do 1 minute of doing a plank, and then you take a 30-second rest, do another 1-minute plank, take a 30-second rest, and then do your last 1-minute plank. And then you don't really need the 30-second rest after that, but you just don't have to do it anymore. But you also want to keep this in mind when you're doing it planks, because this is I always see this mistakes when you see people trying planks, which is these two positions, for example. So this is a normal person. No, okay, yeah, this is what a normal person does. Their hips are right here, and then their legs are right here. This is their head, arms. Man's on all fours, basically, at this point. He's like an animal. You don't want to be this, because you're in danger. Because what if someone just comes behind you and just, has malicious intent? I'll just give this guy a better face, actually. So, yeah, what if someone just comes right behind you, has malicious intent, and just looks at you funny? You don't want to be in this position. This is too vulnerable. We don't want this. And I don't think you want this either. And so, yeah, just don't do that. And so what's the second mistake that I see in people trying to do planks? Well, I see this. So we have this, and bam. We have this. This is the ground. Their hips are drooping low. This is the problem that we're trying to get rid of. Why the hell are you drooping your legs? Or like drooping your hips? You're not working on anything. You're just hurting yourself. You're literally working on nothing. Like, what are you trying to do? Get better at being non-horizontal and be a little bit more curved and crooked? That's not what you want. And it's the same thing when you're here too. You're working on nothing either. I mean, you are working on your arms, but we're trying to work on your hips. So why the hell are you working on these hips right here? Like, I don't know. Like, it's kind of like that. Like, if you don't feel anything in your abs, and you're obviously doing it wrong. So, sorry, I got a little passionate there. So, all right. So what's the correct way in doing this? Well, let's draw a 45-45-90 triangle. Alright, there's 45 degrees here. If I actually write it right, there's 45 degrees here, and there's 45 degrees here. This is your head, these are your legs, and these are your arms right here. This is what you want, and these are your hips. Straight as possible. This will help exercise your abs right here and help straighten out your hips. And so when you're in the water, you'll actually be activating those muscles, and your body will remember that. And when your body remembers that, the faster your body gets on learning how to swim. This is really important. And so that's why I advocate doing planks. They help you a lot. So, and also, like, they're very versatile exercises. You can do them whenever you want. They take not a lot of time. They take like 4 minutes and 30 seconds in order to do this. So you can literally just do this after practice, do it, and then that's literally all you have to do. I mean, you're not like an advanced swimmer. You're just learning how to swim. So you can just do this outside of practice or even before practice. And like even if you do it at practice, you can do it again. Like it's that easy of an exercise. All right, second thing. So do catch-up drills, and do this at practice too, because when you're doing drills, you can only do them at the pool, and when you should do this is like after practice. But let's just get to explaining on how to do this drill. So, catch-up drill. We'll just draw some basic body positions right now: head, torso, arms, and then other arm. So your arms should be together right here. Your hands should be touching, right? We'll just have like a visual view. Hands, like your hands should just be together at this point, right here. Like they should just be touching. And I would actually go to your captains to like explain it better, because you can't obviously see it right now because I'm in a dorm and the pool's closed, so I literally can't show you. But they should be together right here. So you should be in a streamlined position. And let's back up a bit so I can do this. And so when you're doing the catch-up drill, you want to move one arm first, which is the one that's beneath the arm that's on top. And so let's say that the left arm right here, because I'm left-handed, is beneath this arm. And so you're going to be pulling with that arm first. And so it's going to go, well, it's going to start from, it's going to start, oh my god. All right. It's going to start from here to pull from here to here, and then a full pull. And so it basically, the motion should just be this. And afterwards, you'll have your recovery, which is here, right? This is where you bring your elbows up, and then have your forehand come up too out of the water. And then after that, it should be parallel, like basically vertically parallel to the water. And then you straighten it out like this, and then here, and then you're back to where you are in the streamlined position. And once this hand touches the other hand, the right hand, now the right hand's on the bottom, the left hand's on top, you want to do this with the right arm too. It just does that. So we'll have the left arm here, and so right arm's here, it's beneath, it pulls here, and then here we have a full pull again on the right arm, and then we'll have the recovery step. Bam. And then this is where your arm should be parallel to the water, or no, yeah. Basically, yeah, I'm right. And then you should have this, and then your arm straight again, and you're back in a streamlined position. And then you repeat with the left arm again. And they call that catch up because, you know, your hand is trying to catch up to the other hand, and so, you know, it's catching up. It's like a pun, but honestly, this drill, really effective. And what does this drill teach? This drill helps you straighten out, because you're going to have a pull buoy in between, most likely, in between your legs. You'll find out. Just ask your captains. And so you're just going to mainly focusing on straight potty positions the entire time. And this will help you practice buoyancies, and it'll relieve some pressure on your hips in the beginning, and I recommend doing these. And honestly, if the captains are watching this or they ever watch this, how I would give them drills if you're ever working on drills is this, which is basically 425 catch-up drills. Actually, 425. No. Yeah, it should just be 425 drills. And so what that means for the captains, if they're ever watching this, you just have to ignore this, new swimmers, is that you should have the first 425s be the catch-up drills, and the next 425s of your choice that you should choose and what you think the team should work on. And so any of these are left up to your discretion, to be honest, because I'm not there to see it and you guys are. So Will and Chalmer, I'm thinking you guys are the people holding practices. Make them do whatever. Make them do what you think they should do, but make them do this first. This is important. This is key. I hope you guys are watching this. So I'm going to go erase this because I need to explain the last part. Let's erase this too because of my OCD. Alright, and the last part is at practice, straighten your legs when kicking. I've already explained this before, and this is not really even a drill. This is like a basic tip right here. And I'll just review on what I just talked about. When your hips are straight, femur, knees, and when you're only kicking from your knees, it'll make your femur droop because there's force going down and more water, blah, blah, blah. You basically get it at that point. I've already explained it. But always remember that. So I hope you guys took a lot from this video. It took a lot of recordings. I've wasted like over an hour trying to explain buoyancy. So yeah. So I hope these will actually be pretty helpful. And yeah, thank you.